Have you ever found yourself standing at a crossroads in life, wondering if it's time to leave behind everything familiar and move into a nursing home? Or maybe your body isn't as strong as it once was, and your home feels too big and empty. What happens next? Are you ready to take the next step in your life, or are you being pushed into a decision by society or well-meaning family members without fully understanding the impact? In this video, we're diving deep into the truth about nursing homes, the emotional, financial, and psychological costs that often go unseen. But it's not just about exposing the hidden realities. It's about showing you that there are alternatives to this path. You don't have to settle for a life where your independence and dignity are stripped away. By the end of this video, you'll discover the power of aging in place, the benefits of staying in your own home with smart planning, and how making the right decisions can not only improve your health but also preserve your sense of self and independence. I'll walk you through the harsh truths that nursing homes won't tell you and explore the psychological toll of leaving your home, the place where you've built memories and lived your life. You'll also learn how small changes in your home can provide greater safety, comfort, and control, and why staying at home could be the healthier, more affordable choice. Stick around, because the decisions you make today will impact how you live your later years, and you deserve to know all the facts before you make that life-changing choice. This isn't just about surviving your golden years. It's about thriving in them. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Number 1. The reality of nursing homes. When most people imagine a nursing home, they're often drawn in by glossy brochures filled with beautiful images and promises that paint a picture of comfort and care. The brochures assure us that these facilities offer a haven for our later years, where every need will be met with professionalism, compassion, and dignity. They tell us that the staff will be attentive, offering care that is both personal and devoted. But the stark reality of nursing homes is often much different from the promises on paper, and it can be a deeply disheartening wake-up call for anyone who enters these facilities, or worse, for those who have to make the difficult decision to place a loved one there. At their core, nursing homes are businesses. This truth is inescapable. And businesses, no matter how well-meaning, must adhere to financial realities. Budgets, staffing requirements, and efficiency goals can often outweigh the very thing that a nursing home should stand for: genuine care. When these priorities clash, it's the residents who pay the price. One of the most troubling and prevalent issues is understaffing. A single caregiver is often tasked with looking after 10, 15, or even 20 residents during a shift. Each person under their care has their own set of medical, emotional, and personal needs. Needs that are as unique as they are complex. It's not that the caregivers lack the desire to help or the compassion to care. They are, in fact, often incredibly kind-hearted individuals who want nothing more than to provide the best care possible. But they are stretched beyond their limits, left to juggle an impossible number of responsibilities. The result is a painful inevitability: neglect. Not from malice, but from sheer necessity. When one person is managing so many people, delays are inevitable. Medications go forgotten, calls for help go unanswered, and personal care like bathing or repositioning might be rushed or, in some cases, skipped altogether. The residents in these moments are left feeling invisible, their discomfort ignored, and their emotional well-being cast aside. Imagine the crushing reality of lying in bed, waiting for help to get to the bathroom or to bring you a simple glass of water, only to realize that no one is coming. Not because the staff doesn't care, but because they simply can't afford to give you the time you need. It's not just the physical discomfort that is hard to bear. It's the emotional weight of knowing that, in your time of need, you're just another face in the crowd. That, I think, is one of the cruelest parts of it all. But beyond the basic neglect of care, there's also the crushing loss of autonomy. In a nursing home, Your day is dictated not by your needs, but by the rigid, unforgiving structure of the facility. Breakfast is served at 7:30 a.m. Whether or not you're hungry doesn't matter. If you want to eat, that's when it's happening. You bathe when an aide has time to fit you into their schedule, even if you'd rather wait until later in the day. Your medication is delivered when the cart arrives, and you go to sleep when the lights are turned off, whether you're ready to sleep or not. Gone are the days when you could leisurely sip your morning coffee on your porch or decide what to have for dinner based on a whim. In their place, you're left with a monotonous routine, one that strips away the small joys and choices that once defined your life. To many, it feels less like care and more like imprisonment, a relentless erosion of the person they once were. And then, there's the overwhelming loneliness. In the beginning, your family might visit, bringing flowers, bringing hope. But time has a way of wearing down these promises. Work, school runs, bills, and busy lives erode the energy and effort it takes to visit regularly. Children become wrapped up in their struggles, while grandchildren grow up with their own full lives to live. Eventually, the visits become fewer, and soon, you find yourself alone, a mere shadow of the life you once had. What was once a life filled with bustling conversations and familial love fades into silence, leaving behind the hum of a television or the occasional shuffle of a nurse. Research has shown that social isolation in nursing homes is a silent epidemic, one that contributes to higher rates of depression, anxiety, and even physical decline. It's heartbreaking, and it should make us all pause and ask, is this how I want to spend my final years? Is this the legacy I want for myself or my loved ones? Number 2. The emotional toll of leaving your home. Leaving your home is not just a logistical task. It is an emotional and psychological earthquake. A home is more than just bricks and mortar. It's a sanctuary built on years of memories, joy, and love. It's where you raised your children, laughed with your family, and healed from heartaches. The kitchen, where you mastered your family's secret recipes, or the living room where you hosted countless celebrations. These are places that hold a lifetime's worth of stories. And every crack in the wall, every worn corner of a favorite chair, tells the story of who you are and the life you've led. So, when the time comes to leave it all behind, whether by necessity or choice, it feels like an irreplaceable part of you is being ripped away. It's not just a house you're leaving. It's everything that made you who you are. As you walk through the rooms one final time, memories flood back, the laughter echoing from family dinners, the quiet evenings spent curled up with a good book, the way the sunlight used to filter through the windows, casting golden rays on your favorite chair. Packing up isn't just about moving your things. It's about deciding what parts of your soul you can carry with you, and what must be left behind. For many, it's the hardest decision they'll ever have to make. That old armchair you rocked your babies to sleep in? It's too big for the new place. The garden you tended to with such love, year after year, it will belong to someone else now. It feels as though you're giving up control over your own life. And let's not forget the toll it takes on your mental health. Leaving a home, a place where you've anchored your identity, can lead to a host of emotional challenges. Research has confirmed what many older adults instinctively feel. Moving away from a familiar environment can lead to deep sadness, anxiety, and even physical decline. It's as if you're being erased from your own story. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. You're no longer the one who decides what to eat for dinner or how to spend your afternoon. You're not the host anymore. You're a number on a chart in a care facility. It's a loss of identity that many aren't prepared for, and the toll it takes on your mental health is immeasurable. When you're forced to leave the place you love, your sense of self begins to unravel. You're no longer the person in charge of your life. You're a resident, a stranger in someone else's world. Before making that decision, ask yourself, what am I reading? And is there a way to preserve more than just the place I live? Could I preserve the essence of who I am? Because, in the end, It's not just the walls of your home that you're leaving behind. It's your story. And that's not something that should ever be taken lightly. Number 3. The hidden health risks of nursing homes. It's a bitter irony that so many people, as they enter their later years, make the difficult decision to move into nursing homes, believing that they will find safety, superior healthcare, and a sense of support in their final years. Unfortunately, for too many, the reality falls short of these expectations. Instead of the care they were promised, they often discover that nursing homes can hasten their decline in ways they never anticipated. The statistics and research behind this are increasingly troubling, revealing a harsh truth. Living in a nursing home may shorten your lifespan. This stark reality raises an important question. Why does this happen? It's not just one reason, but rather a combination of factors, deeply rooted in both the nature of these facilities and the drastic changes they impose on the lives of those who call them home. One of the most heartbreaking and often overlooked aspects of nursing homes is the loss of autonomy and personal activity. When seniors are moved into these facilities, they often leave behind the small but meaningful daily tasks that keep them both physically and mentally engaged. Tasks that may have seemed burdensome at the time, like cooking a simple meal, tidying up their own living space, or stepping outside to care for a garden, were more than just chores. They were lifelines that offered a sense of purpose, physical exercise, and mental stimulation. In the nursing home, however, these vital routines are often replaced with a much more sedentary lifestyle. Staff members step in to handle the things residents once did for themselves, but this comes at a heavy price. Instead of thriving in the comfort of their routines, seniors can quickly find themselves sinking into a passive existence, dependent on others for even the most basic aspects of daily life. This reduction in physical activity is not just an inconvenience, it has real, measurable consequences. Studies have shown that when people are deprived of the activities that once kept them strong and engaged, they suffer. The lack of exercise can lead to muscle atrophy, a weakened immune system, and a faster decline in cognitive function. A 2018 study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors who moved into institutional care experienced a significant decline in both mobility and mental sharpness within just 6 months when compared to those who remained at home, even with limited support. It's painful to consider that, in their quest for safety, many individuals unknowingly place themselves in environments that accelerate their physical and mental deterioration. Then there's the issue of infections, a dangerous and often overlooked risk in nursing homes. These facilities, by their very nature, house large groups of vulnerable individuals in close quarters, creating an ideal breeding ground for illnesses to spread. Pneumonia, which remains one of the leading causes of death among the elderly, is particularly rampant in these settings, where weakened immune systems and limited mobility make residents vulnerable to respiratory infections. Urinary tract infections, UTIs, are another common issue, often exacerbated by poor hydration or inconsistent personal care. What begins as a seemingly simple infection can quickly escalate into a life-threatening condition like sepsis, where the body's reaction to infection causes widespread inflammation and organ failure. Sadly, the reality is that nursing home residents are often far more susceptible to hospital-acquired infections than those who live independently. The risk of exposure to viral outbreaks, such as influenza or MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, only adds to the alarming dangers of these institutions. It's a frightening truth that these once hopeful places can inadvertently become breeding grounds for life-threatening diseases. Beyond the physical risks, there is a deep emotional and psychological toll that comes with living in a nursing home. For many seniors, the transition to a nursing home is not just a change of location. It's a painful severing of ties to familiar surroundings, personal belongings, and the cherished community networks they have spent a lifetime building. The result is often a sense of isolation, loneliness, and depression. These emotional struggles can weaken the body's resilience, making it harder for seniors to fight off illness and maintain their overall well-being. And for those who still have the option to live at home, even with some assistance, the evidence suggests that staying put is often the healthier, more beneficial choice. For some, The emotional strain of moving into a facility can be far more damaging than the physical ailments that accompany old age. Number 4. The alternative: aging in place with smart planning. Given these dangers, what is the alternative? Is there a safer, healthier path for seniors as they age? Yes, there is an approach known as aging in place. Aging in place is about staying in the comfort and familiarity of your own home, with thoughtful planning and support that allows you to age gracefully and healthily. It's not about stubbornly holding onto independence at all costs, but about creating a sustainable, safe, and fulfilling environment that caters to your needs. When done right, aging in place can preserve both your physical health and your emotional well-being in ways that institutional care simply can't. At the heart of aging in place is the concept of transforming your home into a safe space. The right modifications, which can be simple but incredibly effective, can make a world of difference. For instance, installing grab bars in the bathroom can significantly reduce the risk of falls, one of the leading causes of injury among older adults. Widening doorways to accommodate walkers or wheelchairs, improving lighting to prevent trips, or even adding a stair lift to ease mobility challenges. All of these changes can turn a familiar home into a fortress of accessibility and comfort. It's amazing how small adjustments can have such a big impact on quality of life. Technology also plays a vital role in aging in place. Medical alert systems, such as wearable devices that allow seniors to summon help with the press of a button, offer priceless peace of mind to both residents and their families. Voice-activated smart home devices or motion sensor lighting can make everyday tasks simpler and safer, reducing the physical and mental strain that can come with aging. These tools can help seniors maintain their independence while ensuring their safety. But aging in place is not just about physical changes. It's about creating a robust support network that can provide both practical and emotional support. Hiring part-time assistants or caregivers who come by to help with meal preparation, medication management, or light housekeeping can ensure that daily tasks remain manageable without taking away your independence. For more serious needs, home health aides can provide medical support in the comfort of your living room, from wound care to physical therapy. And, of course, the emotional support of family and friends is irreplaceable. Whether through regular visits, phone calls, or shared activities, staying connected to loved ones is essential to maintaining a sense of belonging and purpose. There are also community programs and senior centers that can offer social outlets and even practical assistance, such as transportation to medical appointments. The key to aging in place is having access to a network of resources that supports you in every aspect of your life. The benefits of this approach are clear. A 2020 report from AARP revealed that seniors who were able to age in place with adequate support had higher levels of satisfaction, better overall health, and lower rates of depression compared to their peers in nursing homes. Furthermore, aging in place is often more affordable than nursing home care. Retrofitting a home and hiring part-time assistants usually costs far less than the average $4,000 to $8,000 monthly price tag of a nursing facility. Aging in place isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, of course. It requires planning, resources, and sometimes compromise. But for many, it offers the opportunity to retain control, preserve dignity, and live a fuller, healthier life surrounded by the familiar walls of the home they've always loved. If we truly care about our elderly loved ones, it's time to rethink what care really means and start prioritizing the safety, independence, and emotional well-being that aging in place provides. Number 5. The power of staying in control of your life. Every single day we wake up as a gift, an invaluable moment to embrace life, cherish our loved ones, and shape our destiny. This precious gift does not diminish with age. It evolves, deepens, and takes on new meaning. With every passing year, we grow stronger, wiser, and more attuned to what truly matters. But too often, we hear society's whispers that aging is a slow, inevitable march toward dependence, a process that strips us of our independence, our dignity, and our power. I believe this narrative is dangerous. Aging should never equate to surrender. Instead, It should be an invitation to redefine what independence means for you. As we get older, the right to wake up each day feeling safe, cherished, and in control of our lives doesn't fade, it transforms. There is something deeply empowering in waking up in your own home, surrounded by the memories you've created and the freedom to make choices that suit your heart. I've seen far too many people, especially the elderly, forced into situations where their sense of autonomy is taken away. They are pushed into homes or assisted living facilities, not because they truly need it, but because society has convinced them that it's the only way forward. Let me tell you, this is not the only option. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Before you even entertain the thought of moving into a nursing home, stop and think about all the possibilities that could keep you in control of your life. There is so much you can do to preserve your independence without compromising your safety or comfort. Start with a support system. Build relationships with family, close friends, or even neighbors who genuinely care about your well-being. Surround yourself with people who check in on you, and who offer their time and love when you need it most. Consider practical adjustments to your home, installing grab bars in the bathroom, adding a stair lift, or even rearranging your furniture to minimize hazards. These are small yet powerful changes that can allow you to continue living in your own space for years to come. Home care services are another wonderful option. These services are incredibly flexible, allowing you to receive the help you need while still staying in the comfort of your home. Whether it's a nurse visiting a few times a week or a caregiver assisting with daily tasks like cooking or bathing, these services can be tailored to meet your unique needs. The most important advice I can give you is this: never rush into a decision that could take away your freedom. I've seen so many people make hasty choices in the face of fear, perhaps after a health scare or under pressure from well-meaning loved ones who don't fully understand. A decision made too quickly can lock you into a situation that feels more like a prison than a place of comfort. Take your time. Weigh your options carefully. Consult with experts and, most importantly, listen to your instincts. Your independence is priceless, and with the right planning, it can last much longer than you might think. Aging doesn't have to mean losing control. It can mean mastering your life in a whole new way, embracing your own decisions, and finding fulfillment in the choices you make. Number 6. Financial burden. The hidden costs of nursing homes. If you think that nursing homes are simply about providing care and comfort, it's time to take a hard look at the financial reality behind these facilities. The truth is that nursing homes are often an economic black hole, draining bank accounts, depleting savings, and leaving families struggling to make ends meet. The financial burden is staggering, far more than most people anticipate. This is one of the most important reasons to avoid rushing into a nursing home. Not only will it impact you financially, but it will place a heavy burden on your family as well. Let's break it down. Depending on where you live, the cost of a nursing home can range from $4,000 to an eye-watering $12,000 per month for basic care. That's between $48,000 and $144,000 a year, and that's just for the basics. If you need additional services like medication management, physical therapy, or specialized treatment for conditions like dementia or Parkinson's disease, the cost can skyrocket into the tens of thousands of dollars per month. Now, let's think long-term. If you or a loved one ends up in a nursing home for 5 to 10 years, a very realistic scenario, the financial toll could be devastating. On the low end, we're talking $240,000 to $480,000. On the high end, the cost could be an astronomical $720,000 to $1.44 million. And what do you get in exchange for that kind of money? A sterile room with thin walls, a shared bathroom down a long hallway, and a staff stretched thin by the demands of dozens of other residents. The harsh reality is that the money you pour into a nursing home often doesn't even buy you the care you deserve. You're not paying for luxury or comfort. You're paying for a bare-bones existence that does little to nourish your spirit or your well-being. It's a sobering thought, and one that far too many people face when they finally realize what they're getting into. Now, let's talk about the common misconception that retirement savings, pensions, or government programs like Medicare and Medicaid will cover these expenses. Unfortunately, the truth is much less reassuring. In the United States, Medicare covers only short-term stays, typically up to 100 days after a qualifying hospital stay. And even then, it's not free. Medicaid might step in for those with limited assets, but qualifying for Medicaid often means you must spend down your savings, sell your home, or liquidate assets, leaving you with little to nothing. Private insurance is even more of a gamble, with policies that often don't cover long-term care needs comprehensively. As a result, families find themselves forced to sell homes they've worked their entire lives to buy, drain their bank accounts, or take on crushing debt just to keep up with the bills. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. Instead of throwing away your life savings, why not invest a fraction of that money into your home? Why not put $5,000 into making your living space safer with renovations like a walk-in shower or a ramp? Consider hiring a part-time caregiver for a few hours a week at $20 an hour, $5,000 to $10,000 a year, depending on how much assistance you need. Or think about the personal touch of moving in with a family member who truly cares about you. Someone who will split costs and responsibilities, while preserving both your dignity and your financial stability. These alternatives are not just more affordable. They're richer in ways that matter: familiarity, connection, autonomy, and love. The sad truth is that many people end up in nursing homes not because they've run out of options, but because they've never been shown the alternatives. Misinformation, lack of planning, and the cultural assumption that nursing homes are the default solution can lock people into decisions they regret. But knowledge is power. By researching local resources, consulting financial advisors, and exploring community programs or home care grants, you can find a better way. The money you save could be the difference between a life of constraint and a life of choice. Number 7. The psychological impact. The transition into a nursing home is often far more than just an address change. It's an upheaval that touches the very core of what it means to be human. For so many, it signals the unraveling of something deeply precious: our sense of purpose, identity, and autonomy. There is something so profoundly disheartening about watching someone who was once the architect of their own life being reduced to a passive recipient of care. We see it in the stories of many seniors who experience a rapid decline in both body and spirit once they move into a nursing facility. And while it is true that physical frailty often accelerates at this stage in life, the emotional toll of losing control over your own life is equally, if not more, devastating. Imagine what it means to grow old in the comfort of your own home. The mornings, even as they become slower, hold a quiet rhythm of responsibility that, while perhaps small, is entirely yours to command. You wake up when you want to. No alarms, no rush. You choose what to eat, even if it's something simple like a warm bowl of oatmeal or a cup of tea prepared just the way you like it. You take a few minutes to water your plants, feeling a quiet pride as their leaves unfurl, or perhaps feeding your pet, savoring that warm, unwavering companionship. Each small task, from making the bed to reading the morning paper, holds meaning. It's a connection to life, a subtle but vital reminder that you are still part of this world, still engaged, still relevant. The simple act of choosing for yourself, deciding when to put on your shoes, when to take a walk, what book to read, keeps your mind sharp and your heart full. But what happens when that autonomy is stripped away? Imagine being placed in a nursing home, where the smallest choices are no longer yours to make. The food comes on trays, at predetermined times, with no regard for your preferences or cravings. The soup is always the same, seasoned by someone else's judgment, and you sit, powerless to change it. The day is mapped out for you. Bingo at 2 p.m., a sing-along at 4 p.m., and maybe a brief exercise session if you're lucky. There's no space for spontaneity or a hobby you love. Your room, once filled with your cherished items and our unique personality, becomes just another sterile space in a long row of identical rooms. The familiar creaks of your own home are replaced with the cold silence of sterile walls, and any sense of privacy or individuality fades away. Your bedtimes, your routines, your very life, everything becomes controlled by someone else's rules. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The loss of control over your environment and your daily choices is not just inconvenient. It strikes at the heart of who you are. The erosion of autonomy, of choice, can lead to an overwhelming sense of irrelevance. And for many, this loss isn't just physical. It's deeply psychological. It's the realization that you are no longer seen as a person with desires, needs, and dreams, but as a patient, a name on a chart, a body to be managed. And in that transition, you can begin to feel like you're just waiting for the inevitable, rather than living. Contrast this with the possibility of staying in your own home. It's not just about staying in the house that's familiar, though that matters deeply. It's about holding on to something even more important: your identity. Yes, aging may slow you down, and there may be times when you need help with daily tasks, but you remain the author of your story. You decide when to open the blinds, whether you want to go for a walk or stay inside and read, which movies to watch, or what flowers to plant in the garden. Every choice, no matter how small, reaffirms that you are still here. You still have a voice. You are still a person with agency, with purpose. When you stay in your own home, you hold on to a sense of power that transcends age. Sure, there are days when you feel the weight of the years, when your joints ache or fatigue settles in, but those moments don't define you. You can keep choosing to keep living on your terms. That truly defines who you are. Aging doesn't have to mean a surrendering of your power. Instead, it's a chance to redefine what matters, to embrace a new chapter in your life where the decisions you make carry deeper meaning than ever before. Aging should not be seen as a loss, but as an opportunity to assert control over your life in ways that are both empowering and liberating. Society, however, tends to tell a different story. The one that says aging is a burden, and that independence must be sacrificed for convenience and safety. The world pressures you to surrender, to believe that nursing homes are the only responsible option. But in truth, this narrative often overlooks the heart of the matter: your dignity, your voice, your life. The quiet hum of your own home, the freedom to structure your days as you see fit, and the comfort of living in a space that reflects who you are, these are not small losses. They are profound, sacred aspects of your life that deserve to be defended. You don't have to accept the fate that society assigns to you simply because others expect it. You deserve more than mere survival. You deserve to thrive. Aging comes with its challenges, no question. You will face physical limitations, and there will be times when simple tasks feel daunting. But needing assistance doesn't mean you lose your voice. It doesn't mean giving up your identity or letting someone else dictate your story. Yes, a caregiver can help with physical tasks, and medical professionals can monitor your health, but only you can decide what truly makes your life worth living. Staying in your own home is about more than just the physical space. It's about preserving the psychological and emotional essence of who you are. It's about making the choices that reflect your values, your history, and your identity. The stakes of this decision are higher than ever. With each passing year, the importance of holding on to your autonomy, your agency, grows more crucial. Aging doesn't diminish your right to self-determination. On the contrary, it amplifies it. So, when the world tries to convince you that your time is up, that it's time to step aside and hand over control, don't listen. Your story is far from finished. You have the power to make this chapter as rich, as vibrant, and as meaningful as any that came before. And that, my friends, is a life worth living. As we wrap up today's discussion, I want to take a moment to reflect on everything we've talked about. Aging is a natural part of life, but it doesn't have to be a surrender. It's about holding on to your choices, your identity, and your purpose, even when the world tells you otherwise. You are the author of your own story, and as long as you keep making choices that align with who you are, you will continue to live with dignity and joy. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What is one thing you've learned from this video that you will bring into your own life? How do you plan to embrace your autonomy and identity, no matter your age? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a comment, hit the like button, and share it with others who might benefit from this message. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more empowering content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.